idea he made us. That's interesting. Sorry, it was apparently print, shoot, repeat made a fucking song.
Just over a little bit, ma'am.
Alright, we got Stephen Miller. Is he gonna roast everyone? Is he gonna roast the fucking media again?
Day, huh? Nice weather. I only have time for a few questions because I'm running late to a meeting, but happy to take any for a moment if you have any. I think you were first.
What do you make of the senator's conversation with Abrego Garcia? What's your response?
I'm almost at a loss for
Garcia?
words how outrageous it is. Here's an individual.
They keep asking about Garcia.
Country of El Salvador, who's been repeatedly documented by multiple federal
Wait, do I have it here?
to be a member of MS-13, one of the most violent criminal organizations on planet Earth.
I don't think I have it
which
here.
is now a designated foreign terrorist organization, and an individual who has been incredibly implicated in human smuggling and human trafficking.
It's in here.
An individual who is a documented woman beater, somebody who has viciously assaulted a woman in ways that shock the human conscience. That is who the Democrat Party is going to provide aid, solace, and comfort to.
Is this it?
Not
Yeah.
just Senator Van Hollen's own constituents, like the Morin family. Rachel Morin was viciously beaten, brutally raped, and murdered, and her mother never even got a phone call from Senator Van Hollen. Or Kayla Hamilton, a young girl who was attacked in a public restaurant, raped in the bathroom, and beaten to death and murdered by an illegal alien that Joe Biden set free into the country. None of those people elicit human sympathy from Senator Van Hollen. How broken is that man's heart? How broken is his conscience that he doesn't have even an ounce of empathy or time or concern?
Not only that, but you had like some of this shit going on.
How many of his citizen constituents have been killed by the fentanyl that Joe Biden allowed into this country, by the cartels that made a fortune off of human trafficking?
Oh yeah, you had this guy who was designated white for some reason. That's his race. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That has occurred into his state.
Somehow.
None of that concerns him in the least. You know, his heart is reserved for an illegal alien who's a member of a foreign terrorist organization. I'm beyond appalled.
Stephen, can you confirm if the head of the IRS was...
No one's above the law, right?
I don't have any,
And look at what happened to Letitia James and this bitch. Get the fuck out.
What can we foresee? What do you foresee happening?
Well, the president's been very, very clear in his criticisms and disappointment, and he said it perfectly. Nothing to add to what the president said on that important subject.
These people should go too.
James says the allegations against her are nothing more than a revenge tour by the Trump administration. What's your response?
My response is that Letitia James is one of the most corrupt, shameless individuals.
Oh, she brought up Letitia James.
Not only those crimes, but of countless more crimes by using and abusing your public
Yeah,
office,
even this bitch is corrupt
persecuting
too.
this man, depriving him of his rights, engaging in a conspiracy to obstruct our election and to overthrow our democratic processes and procedures. She is guilty of multiple significant.
These bitches are for sure corrupt.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
has the administration had
Ah.
conversations with President Bukele to potentially move Garcia to another country, since that seems to be
You
based
can
on-
go together.
The President of the United States
La
brought Bukele
migra,
here.
la
He offered
migra.
himself. His view is that this foreign terrorist is a citizen and subject of El Salvador, and Bukele's view is that it is his decision as the president of El Salvador what happens with his own citizens who are lawfully residing in his country, who've been returned to his country.
Honestly, all the politicians should wear this.
El Salvador wishes to do
All
with
the
its own
fucking
citizens.
stupid donors that they get,
That the
right, from
gang
fucking
that,
companies. They should put that on their
deported individual
fucking,
claims,
on their coat.
claimed previously that he was going to be persecuted by in El Salvador no longer exists. It does not exist in El Salvador. The 18th Street Gang does not exist in El Salvador. So that fake pretense
Yeah.
for not wanting to be deported has been completely removed and remedied and no longer exists as a matter of law or reality. I want to tell you one story while you're all here that I think is very important to illustrate for you the genuine evil of the last administration's immigration policies that, for whatever reason,
Oopsies.
our corporate press in this country
Ah,
never really cared to cover. And
Like a
certainly
Bugel.
elicited no outrage, no emotion from this country's political and ruling elite. But this, by
yeah,
the way,
like
is
this
not
dumb
an isolated
bitch.
instance. This is the kind of thing that we discover not only every day, but every hour. It just illustrates how inhuman the policies were of the previous administration and how many thousands of lives we were saving by upholding and enforcing our laws. So there was a 14-year-old girl that we discovered who was trafficked across the border in the previous administration, stolen from her family in her home country. The Biden administration made no attempt to return her to her home country or to return her to her family in her home country or to reunify her in any way with her family in her home country. Instead, they resettled her in the United States with a so-called sponsor. That so-called sponsor, all funded by our taxpayers, this entire procedure funded by taxpayers, that so-called sponsor was himself an illegal alien. So subject to himself removal and deportation. Again, the Biden administration did not deport the sponsor, but handed the girl over to the sponsor. The sponsor claimed to be that girl's brother. He was not, in fact, her brother. The Biden administration, of course, did not attempt to verify this in any way, shape, or form, as they did not for the hundreds of thousands of minors that were placed in the hands of illegal aliens. They know they were being lied to. They didn't care they were being lied to. This individual was an illegal alien who had no familial relation with this young girl. What happened next will not surprise you, although it will sadden you. He raped the 14-year-old girl and impregnated her. So the Biden administration took a young girl, took her away from her family, brought her into the United States, resettled her with an illegal alien, 26-year-old adult male, subjected her to rape and what anyone
Why
would
are you
describe as
saying
torture.
the
So
Biden
young girl was
administration
tortured,
was
raped,
doing
and
human
impregnated
trafficking?
as a result of the choices made by the Biden administration?
Ah,
When this case was
I
brought
mean,
to the
they
Biden
technically
administration for
were in a
prosecution,
sense with
they
all
turned
those
it
fucking
down and did not even prosecute
illegal
the case.
motherfuckers.
So it's evil on top of evil on top of evil. And I am not interested in moral lectures from anyone in this country.
I
whether it
mean,
be in the
sounds
media or
pretty
the Democrat
fucking corrupt
Party
to me.
Or in the corporate press about immigration policy when the left has been complicit in the greatest crimes against humanity that we have seen in God knows how many
Yeah,
years.
it's really weird to import all these people who we have no idea about, who they barely probably don't even speak a lick of English sometimes. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you importing these people? And all of their problems that you know that we can't fucking fix. Like, what the fuck?
In this country.
It doesn't
A
make any
system
fucking
that has
sense.
turned human beings into fodder for the cartels and participated in the mass rape and exploitation of children and the mass murder of Americans. That's what we're fighting against. That level of evil and depravity. And if you are weak or soft or passive in the face of evil, then you will be
Yeah, maybe
compromised.
deal with
And
these
this country will be
motherfuckers
compromised.
first who
And
keep
we will not be a
stealing
free
shit
country
from
anymore. We're a safe
homes.
country.
And
We're a
then
country ruled
fucking
by
making a
cartels
dumping
and
pit
gangs
outside of
and
town
terrorists.
or
That's
the city.
case. Those
And
are
then
the
going
things that you're doing. I have time for
fuck
one more.
all from so like
Yes.
nowhere to be tracked.
Pele and the fact that Garcia
It's
is
gone.
now in El Salvador's custody. But the question is, has President Trump expressed any interest at all in seeing Garcia move to a different country, or would he want him to stay in El Salvador? Did he discuss that with Pele or any of his advisors, specifically with immigration?
Well, the Supreme Court has been abundantly clear.
Don't be like this
when it
fucking
overturned the
retard
lower court's
Troon,
ruling
right?
that
Pointing a
the
fucking
foreign
gun at
policy of the
somebody,
United States cannot be compelled
brandishing a
by
weapon.
district court. The view of our administration has been very clear and consistent that this man is a subject and citizen of El Salvador, and El Salvador, as a sovereign
Always
country,
gotta
has
do some
informed
criminal
us
shit.
repeatedly and publicly that it is their desire and intention to retain custody of him. And of course, we as a U.S. government cannot forcibly retrieve him against the wishes of El Salvador. Of course, again, as we discussed at some length in these settings, if we were to forcibly retrieve him, the irony would be is that because he's here illegally,
You're starting a
has to be
war
petitioned
with
for,
another
he would simply
country.
be deported the second time back to El Salvador because the withholding order that has been so much discussed is no longer valid or enforced.
Why do you
because
guys
the
want
Forbes
war over a
nation-
single person? He's not even a fucking citizen. Like, get the fuck out of here. If you really want him so bad, you can go to fucking El Salvador prison with him. You fucking dumbasses. You can rot in that prison too. Do you want to go to Filipino prison? I don't think you want to go there, man. Holy shit. There's someone down in there who's taking it really hard. His name is Vitali. Remember that fucking idiot? Yeah, don't be him.
And because the fake
No,
claim
don't
that
go to
he
Philippines and cause a
about
fucking
being
ruckus.
persecuted by a rival gang no longer exists. The gang itself no longer exists in the country. I'll take one more question.
Federal appeals judge.
Sir,
Yes,
when are
yes.
we gonna see accountability and consequences for sanctuary state and local officials that are violating 8 USC 1324 by
Smuggling.
harboring
Right,
illegal
yeah.
aliens?
Yeah.
As well as, isn't it?
Yeah, at this
bizarre
point,
that,
you could say the Democrats are
Chris Van Hollen
smuggling
tried to
illegals.
Smuggle and facilitate the re-entry of this illegal alien, also in violation of 8 USC
Yeah,
13.
we also haven't heard any stories about the Logan Act this time around for whatever reason. So
No, he's gonna talk about the Logan Act.
it's a great question
Thank you.
and a knowledgeable question. I don't get a lot of questions around here where people are citing the Immigration and Nationality Act, so that's great. You're exactly right that the sanctuary cities are engaged in multiple criminal violations: harboring, smuggling, inducing, obstructing justice, obstructing official proceedings.
Thank you.
and
Finally,
many other
someone
crimes.
fucking says it.
And this is something that the Department of Justice is taking a very hard look at. I'll just say that it is my view, the view of this administration, that these cities are engaged in systemic criminal violations and that they are engaged in a scheme to nullify and obstruct the duly enacted laws of the United States of America. And I would again note, when we talk about morality, we talk about decency. Sanctuary cities shield criminal illegal aliens from removal. We repeatedly go into communities and arrest illegal aliens who were previously in custody, that they refused to turn over, that were sent back onto the street, that have subsequently raped or abused a child. I just want you to think about that for a second. You have sanctuary cities like Los Angeles, like Boston, like Chicago.
Yeah, all of these
where
people
illegal aliens will be
undocumented.
booked,
How are they
arrested,
going to get
placed
legal
into
fucking help when shit
city
hits
or
the
state
fan?
custody,
They won't be
charged with
able
serious
to.
crimes.
And you just
ICE
literally
has to be
fucked
turned
all
over
these
for
people.
deportation. They will
Because
willfully release them
they're
back
not
into
even
the street,
fucking
obstructing
citizens.
federal law enforcement, doing so at a time and place.
They
and
don't even
issues
fucking
with
have
conviction that we
money
don't
and you
know
just
where
fuck
and when they will
them.
be set free. And then those illegal aliens will go out and take someone's son or someone's daughter and abuse
Literally
and rape them.
fucking human
This is
trafficking, you
the word
fucking
scandal doesn't even come
weirdos.
close to describing the enormity of the evil that we are talking about with these policies. About repeatedly subjecting citizens on purpose, deliberately, with malice aforethought, to crimes against them and their families by individuals who by law shall be removed from this country. You know, and we have a whole body of immigration law, by the way. The last administration shredded that says illegal aliens shall not be allowed to enter the country, shall be detained through removal, shall not be set free. That they chose repeatedly in mass to not only ignore, but to give them parole, to give them work permits, to give them welfare. A scheme to violate our laws. You're not talking about just one time or 2 times or 3 times. Millions and millions of times they engage in this scheme. So much criminality that it defies our ability to even catalog it. And the wages of that, the destruction that created, can only be measured in the tears of all the moms
Oh,
and dads
yeah.
whose kids are now dead. Whether dead by drugs.
I mean, this
dead
is
by
literally a
crime, doesn't even
federal
measure the impact
fucking
on our
right.
education system.
You want
I
it?
mean, we always
This
talk about
is
how
like
war takes place in
actual
this country.
Rico
And
shit.
then we talk about
Yeah.
the fact that we have a completely open border until
Like this
Donald
is
Trump with the world.
you want Rico?
flooding
This
our
is
schools
Rico.
with students who are not even literate in the language in the countries from which they came. Destroyed our education system, destroyed our infrastructure, destroyed our healthcare system. Where do Americans go to get their cities back? Where do they go to get their lives back? Where do they go to get their lost income? How many small businesses have been closed over the years because they were competing with illegal labor? How many lives and dreams have been destroyed? The other side in this debate, this isn't a debate between 2 reasonable points of view. It's a debate between a political party led by Donald Trump that believes in nationhood, that believes in sovereignty, that believes in the idea that there is such a thing as citizenship and it's sacred, and a party that is literally waging war against the very idea of nationhood. And as far as they're concerned, every single American citizen who's hurt or killed as a result is acceptable collateral damage. Well, it's not acceptable to Donald Trump, and we're shutting it down, and we'll never apologize for it. Thank you.
Mr. Hollen, on due process,
Due process, not the fucking due process question again. Dude, what is... Dude, it's every day about the fucking due process question, even though they fucking answered it so many goddamn times. Due process, due process. How about you shove the due process up your fucking asshole? Jesus Christ. My God, due process that, bitch. You're so fucking annoying with the due process.